Hey, what's up guys? So I want to talk about DD Crow today, and I want to just mention that this card is really good, even in the main deck, for certain decks. Something like Piper Chaos or Blackwings, they can main deck this card no problem, and I feel like there's a lot of other decks that just can run DD Crow or just tech one DD Crow. I think it's just a really good, solid card. So, with that said, let me remove this happy face DD Crow formation, and I'll talk about some of the things it's great against. First off, Monster Reborn. Now this is a definite game-changing card, and if you can just activate your Crow, get rid of what they targeted, it's just really good. But currently what the meta looks like right now, Dino Rabbit's still very big, Dark Worlds are still very popular, Wind-Ups, I know they don't really play this card, but it's just the only Wind-Up card I have, Heroes and Inzectors and that whole Chaos Dragon deck. I feel like those are the most commonly played decks right now. And out of all these decks, I would say the only thing it doesn't really hurt too much is Dino Rabbit. Sure, Dino Rabbit does run Pop Avarice and it can hit that, but that's really the only thing it doesn't really hurt too much. And so with that said, it hits 5 out of the 6 main deck things that people are playing right now, and so you could run it definitely in the main deck, depending on what your locals is. If your locals is filled with Chaos Dragons like mine, then it's a very good card to run it in, especially against Dark World as well, because sometimes they banish with the field spell, they'll banish their Grapha, and if you can just remove 2 Graphas until they get the third one out, you can really just kind of overextend against them. One thing against Chaos Dragons is they do like to point for point a lot of the times, because let's say you have maybe a Grapha on the field and you don't have the field spell, they have a Red as Dark Dispel in the graveyard, they'll go Light Pulsar. Let me just grab one out real quick. They'll go for Light Pulsar. Let's just say they special summon Light Pulsar and you have a Grapha on the field. Let's just say, for example, this is Grapha, and they have Red as Dark Dispel in the graveyard. So they'll attack into Grapha, and they'll be like, oh, I'll just get Red as Dark Dispel, run over, and then I'll just grab the Light Pulsar. If you can chain your DD Crow to their attack, they'll be like, okay, I'll attack into Grapha, and you can just be like, oh, I'll activate DD Crow. And you can just remove their target that they would normally get with Light Pulsar. And that way, they've essentially went super minus. They've lost control over the field, and they just went minus. Pretty bad. Although DD Crow isn't too viable against the main deck in Dark Worlds, because you want to have your drag downs live. I think that it can be sided. You can side deck that quite well against Dark Worlds. I'm sorry, against Chaos Dragons. If you are playing Dark Worlds, it could be an option, because I've noticed that does happen a lot, where they'll go for Light Pulsar, and if the field spell isn't there, they will just go Light Pulsar and attack into Grapha, and they'll just take the 200 damage, and then they'll just bring back Red as Dark Dispel, and Red as Dark Dispel will run over that. So if you're playing Dark World, that's always an option. Or if you're playing against Dark World, obviously once Grapha's in the grave, and they summon a monster, wait for them to generally summon the monster first, and then remove their Grapha. That way they have already summoned their card. Because if you do that, maybe they don't want to summon, and then that way, usually you can run over everything in their deck. It's relatively small. Well, I mean, 2,000 is relatively easy to run over, I'd say, especially since everyone has tour guides right now. You could just make number 17. Against Wind-Ups, I know, again, they don't play this card, but it's just to remind me, Wind-Ups. Anyways, so usually they'll just try to get Hunter back over and over and over, and if you just banish that Hunter, that stops their loop, and, basically from there, if you can do it early on, that can hurt them, and it can kind of stun them for a while, because Wind-Up is a deck that does go for Exceeds, and pretty much when they go for that play, they usually have to use 2 cards anyway, so it does help you out quite a bit. Another deck that you can use DD Crow against in the main deck is E-Heroes. Sometimes E-Heroes, it is kind of a slow deck sometimes. I know they have lots of dualities to search out what they need to, but Miracle Fusion is something that, is I'd say one of their power cards in the deck, and if you can activate DD Crow when they activate Miracle Fusion, you chain DD Crow. As long as they only have their 2 targets that they want to go for Miracle Fusion, you can just banish it, and it helps quite a bit. Or if they go for Hero Blast to target their Alias, you can just, get rid of that. It really helps out as well, because Alias is their key card. Keep in mind, you always want to try to remove Alias as quickly as possible, and then you can kind of shut their deck down. But yeah, if they activate Miracle Fusion, since Miracle Fusion is not a cost, you can chain DD Crow, and then you can banish their Alias, or pretty much whatever you need to banish. Next up, Inzectors. It's pretty simple. I mean, once Hornet's in the grave, they go summon, activate effect, and then you go, okay, I'll activate my DD Crow, and then they still have to activate their Inzector's effect, because they declared they want to activate their effect, and you've removed their target. So it's really good just for them when they summon and they say they want to activate their effect, just be like, okay, I'll crow your Hornet. That way it forces them to either use a Hornet in their hand, which that's unfortunate. You're still going to get, your field destroyed, but it still helps out getting rid of another Hornet. But yeah, very good card against Inzectors. I would say a very, very game-breaking card, especially when if they only have like one Inzector in their hand. Like, let's say they have in their hand they have Dragonfly and they just summon a Dragonfly. If Hornet's their only card in the graveyard and you banish that Hornet, they have to equip Dragonfly to Dragonfly, and that's really minus for them. I did used to play Inzectors for quite some time, and I will tell you that does hurt quite a bit. But yeah, I really feel like DD Crow is a very good card, and I would say it's really good against the meta, even in the main deck, except for against Dino Rabbits. I mean, yes, you can hit their Pot of Avarice, which is a pretty game-breaking thing to do, but if they've already gone through their plays and gone through Pot of Avarice, I'd really say that you're pretty much in a spot where it's very difficult to come out of anyways. But definitely, yeah, DD Crow, a very good card. But let me know what other decks you guys think that DD Crow is great against, as well as what other decks can main deck it. Personally, I think Piper Chaos and Blackwings are very great choices to main deck maybe one DD Crow, maybe even in Chaos Dragons, just because sometimes you don't want to remove your Red Eyes Darkness Metals, because I know that I tried out playing Chaos Dragons, and sometimes you just don't have the darks to remove. Generally, I usually remove Tour Guide, but if you weren't playing a Tour Guide variant, or maybe you just don't have Tour Guides, and you just have trouble getting those darks in, because I know it's easy to get the lights in, you have the slow recharges, but sometimes you just don't want to remove Red Eyes Darkness Metal, and that's where DD Crow, you can just activate it, remove something that your opponent has. Maybe early on in the game they milled a Plague Spreader, just get rid of Plague Spreader with DD Crow, or really anything, and then you can get more darks in the graveyard for you to remove. Or if you have Dark Arm in your hand, you have two darks, just bam, get that third dark in there, and I think it's good to go. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about DD Crow, as well as maybe if you guys have some other things you guys wanted to mention about DD Crow that I didn't mention. Let me know in the comment section below. But thanks for watching, guys. Asian Ice White Dragon, signing out.